All right, Justin. Next on the list, we got Oshane Ximines, 6'4", 252 pounds, 23 years old. Was drafted the 95th overall pick in the third round in 2019. And he was the last pick and the part of the Odell Beckham Jr. trade. Justin, in his rookie season, on 45% of the snaps, he had 25 tackles, 4.5 sacks, which was second on the team, 5 tackles for a loss, and 9 QB hits. What do you got on the cat?
Yeah, fun little fact about Oshane Ximines. He is a first generation American where his family's actually immigrated from Jamaica before he was born. So there you go. That's my little fun fact.
Jamaica, bumbleclaw. Bumbleclaw has become a very prevalent word in America lately.
I've never heard of it until right now.
I went to high school with a lot of people from Jamaica and Bahamas, so yo, Rusty King Crab. Just some
He
of the
also has a
things.
nice sleeve. Oshane also has I'm not usually a big fan of tattoos, but Oshane does have a nice sleeve of tattoos on his, believe it's his left arm.
He gave his dog like smart water too.
Mm.
Way full with his
Oh.
money. My center in high school was actually from Jamaica, so they actually look kind of similar now that I'm thinking about it. So welcome to the team, Oshane. Justin, let's talk about him. He was basically third in the rotation and outside linebacker last year behind Lorenzo Carter and Marcus Golden. Justin, I expect him to be second this year behind Marcus Golden. I do think they want to give him the opportunity. In fact, they tried early last year with the Minnesota game. They gave him like 97% of the snaps. The next game against New England, they gave him a good chunk, and then they brought him back down to like that 50% range. I want to see it come back up to that, that 65 to 75% snap because, Justin, he's a pure pass rusher. He kind of reminds yourself of Marcus Golden a little bit. He has pure pass rush moves where a guy like Lorenzo Carter doesn't really have that.
Yeah, actually, Marcus Golden and Oshane Ximines, they had very similar rookie years. Golden in 2015 had 27 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 10 QB hits, 4 sacks, and he played 49% of the snaps. And then just kind of to repeat some of Oshane's stats from his rookie year, 25 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 9 QB hits, 4.5 sacks, and 45% of the snaps. Now, Bobby, this is where I think as Giants fans, we're a little frustrated right now with trying to predict the second year jumps of edge rushers and pass rushers because of our lack of our not good prediction of predicting it with Lorenzo Carter. But Golden saw an awesome year 2 jump with 12.5 sacks, 16 tackles for loss, and 22 QB hits. So we honestly have to see what Oshane can do. But Bobby, here's where I am. Here's why I am with trying to, this is player profile and projections. Here's where I am with trying to project Oshane and projecting these young edge rushers and pass rushers. I'm done trying to project. At this point, I'm a fan. I am like rooting for Oshane Ximines. There are a few guys on this football team. Andrew Thomas is one of them at left tackle. Obviously, Daniel Jones, they're playing very important positions. Oshane Ximines, because he's on his rookie contract and because he has this promise, one of the few guys that I'm just genuinely rooting for as a fan, that this guy needs to be good. And I'm kind of over projecting like, oh, Oshane's going to be a 12-sack guy, or he's going to be a 6-sack guy, or he's going to get 20 QB hits. I'm done doing it. Because I honestly think, and I'm going to kind of take your point on this, I honestly think like a lot of these guys have promise. Carter has promise. I'm not saying that he doesn't work hard off the field, but Oshane has promise. What I really think it comes down to is how are you going to take this talent and how are you going to work off the field at perfecting your craft and really, really, separating yourself from being good to average or possibly, a great player or a great edge rusher. That's where I am right now with some of these guys.
Yeah, I agree. But we do have to project a little bit. I'm not saying necessarily this year, but do you think Oshane Ximines, and there has been some OC comparisons, and supposedly they've talked with each other. Do you think Oshane can get to a part of his career, like I said, maybe not this year, where he's a 10-sack a year type of guy? Like he's going to get between 10 and 14 sacks per year. Because I think he has that pure pass rush ability where, like with Lorenzo Carter, he had the good rookie year and his sack numbers, and they're like, oh, wow. But you go look at college, he wasn't really a sack getter. He was a do-it-all type guy, which is what I think Lorenzo Carter is in the NFL. I mean, he got sacks at Old Dominion. It got better as it went, but he went up against Virginia Tech, and like some D1 schools and got sacks. He was a sack getter, 11 and a half sacks in his last year at ODU. I think he can get to a point in his career where he's a 10 sack guy. Like you said, work ethic is really the most important thing when it comes to these young guys. We're not going to guess off of Instagram stories or whatever. So I hope he does have it. But I think Oshane Ximines has the pure pass rush ability. And in today's NFL, where QBs want to get up quicker and move up in the pocket, he has great redirect ability. I think that's the thing that's most impressive is when he'll get upfield and then he'll redirect, come down the line of scrimmage, or get inside an offensive tackle. Those were the times where I was the most impressed with Oshane. I think he has the ability on a team with these defensive tackles to be a 10-sack-a-year guy.
Yeah, I think him and Golden shared that good trait of redirectability where – where I want to see Oshane actually grow, where I want to see all these edge rushers grow is just your ability to just beat a guy off the edge. Just beat a guy. I understand good on the beat that guy off, Bobby. I understand, good secondary play. That's what we need right now. Where a quarterback's holding the ball for maybe 3 seconds or longer, and then a guy comes in and gets the sack, and that's a little bit better on the secondary than it is actually on an edge rusher itself. But let's just see it. Just go out. We need a stud. We need a stud on this football team, Bobby. We need a stud at edge rusher. We need some studs in the secondary. And I'm speaking from a fan. This is the most fan you're probably ever going to hear me right now. We're just, that's my analysis. We need a stud. We need good players. But that's what we've been lacking, Bobby. We have a lot of good players. We have a lot of good edge rushers to average players. We need somebody to take that step up. And because of Oshane's his actual background at college at Old Dominion, where you drafted him for the purpose of him being a pass rusher and a guy that gets to the quarterback, unlike Lorenzo Carter, where I feel like we had to really form him to that role. We had to shape him to that role his rookie year, and then he kind of did some other things in 2019. Let's just see it. I'm sorry for this bad analysis, but I'm just ready to see something tangible.
Do you have him second in the rotation at the outside linebacker spot?
Yes, with hopefully the potential that he's the first by the end of the season.
Yeah,
that's where you want.
That would be nice to see. It'd be awesome to see this guy make that jump. And I think people were a little quick with Lorenzo Carter. I think Ximines is capable of it. I'm not predicting it, but I think he is capable of making that really nice jump depending on what kind of work he's put in during the offseason. So it'll be interesting to see for the X-Man number 53, Oshane Ximines. That's an episode. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Should have an interview. Reporters are at camp for the first day. So we're hoping that we have an interview. Should have one. We'll see you then. Until then, let's go Big Blue.